Hey everybody, it's Dow Jones Dave again, and I thought I'd go over the technical of this buy, because for once I actually did a Dow Jones Dave technical trade. And of course it worked better than all the hip shooting I've been doing lately. So what is the trade? What is the technicals? Well, if you're watching my videos, you already know. There it is. Yeah. Right there. Trend break retest. And I did buy calls. And I'm up about... these will finally be gone today. They expire worthless. These are hedge puts I took on a larger call trade on top. And it went up like a lot. And so I lost $23.98 of my profits, which was about half my profits, actually. Because I'm just trading with funny money until I get better at this. Now, I'm a great technician. Anybody who's been watching my videos knows I'm a great technician when I bother to do the technical work. And that's, of course, the problem. So, where are we at? We're up $7. I'd really like to make more on that trade, even though it's only, it's 8.75% in the first half hour. If I wasn't greedy, I'd take my profits. But I'm greedy, so I get just as excited as anybody else. I want to see it run. So what's happening here? We're getting stuck up on this resistance here. Are we going to keep rallying up for another leg? That's the question, because another leg will put me up nicely. So let's go. Oh, figured out how to do something, by the way. Got rid of that. Isn't that nice? Let's go, what are we looking at? Let's go down to the intense scale. Okay, we've got this little trend broke, and our next pivot point is right here. So remember, there's no more trend here. It would be an uptrend, and we do have an uptrend established. This kind of looks familiar from the other day on that S&P. We're just going to do the same thing. So if you want to get in, at this point, our pivot point used to be there. Then it was here. Then we broke that, retested, moved up. Now we've got an uptrend. So could be interrupted by one more dip, probably expecting it. And in fact, if you're looking to trade this and you see this video before this dip, or I get finished with the video before the dip, either one, right around here probably. Remember, you want a symmetrical move. Borrow a trick from a few other YouTubers, except for I do it a little differently. You want to see a move equivalent to this. Is that right? Hard to tell. A little bit higher. Yeah, that's good. We'll move off about that. Remember, we go up and we go down. So we're expecting a little sell-off. I don't expect much, to tell you the truth. Wow, there we go. See? Just happened. And the Dow's up 36. It's up 22. Futures, that means this number is going to go down, because the futures are more up to date on the ticks than this. It's real time, but it only ticks every few minutes, whereas the futures ticks every tick. Minus 14. Remember, you don't panic, because we've got an uptrend. So anyway, I just wanted to go over the technicals of this particular buy and why it's not so crazy. Now we have almost closed the gap. If we move up above this trend line, that will also close the gap and establish the first move of the 3 moves that will come off this trend line. If it only does 2 and goes down, then that's a failure, and you would have to get out. Yes, indeed you do. So we're still in the 1 minute, closing. So now what you're going to have to see is just another replay of this kind of stuff, where you get a trend, it breaks, comes up, sometimes retests, sometimes only makes a feeble attempt at a retest. And it is interesting how that works out, isn't it? Retest up. And this is a pretty valid retest, by the way. If we go high-low, we retested good and really rejected hard. So 1, 2, here's the third. What do I got? I've only been going 5 minutes. How interesting. So let's go over some things. Barometer as of close yesterday is 109. Where are they? 4.273 on the Treasury yields. That's up, and this is really bullish. So once this little rally finishes here, I'm going to go short. Couple months out. And, well, I can't say that yet. I think the play is going to be to go short after this particular little rally is done here. It's just my instinct, and I might change that. So, but here we go. You know, I already put out the trade alert, so this isn't an alert. This is just tracking the fun, tracking the. Never mind. I lose my train of thought. Let's go back down to the 1 minute. Get out of here. Oh, that's nice. You see, when I stick to my technicals, when I hip shoot, not so much. Oh, let's go Roblox when I expect that the market is gonna be crashing. Let's go long some friggin' speculative stock is down 22% in 1 day on a gap trade. Probably not the best trade, but I just closed it. Why not, you know? You can learn from my mistakes just as well as my successes. And one thing we are learning is do your technical analysis. Sit down there. And you know what? It's hard. It takes a long time. You know, you got to find and pick out these little trends all over the place, you know, and takes a long time. Which is, you know, I usually concentrate on the Dow, because what the Dow does, the S&P does, as far as price action, they kind of clone each other. So, since I'm a specialist on the Dow, and you have to admit, I am a specialist. I mean, who else has all this stuff? You know, I do. And you can get it too. And by the way, I bring it up just because I'm going to have a Patreon set up pretty soon. And you'll get varying levels of access to all this information updated every week. This is a weekly thing. The Dow updates its earnings and dividends, the composite, real time. So if you know where to get even this basic information and know what the divisor is on the Dow, you can get all this stuff. Now, I don't do that. I have a source for it, but I'm going to do that. Once I get all this figured out and done, then we're going to have operating earnings for all the stocks. As reports come in and I update them, right, I'll look up and calculate the operating earnings for this area so that the PE won't be net earnings, which include extraordinary gains and aren't consistent with consensus estimates, which don't. These are operating earnings. So that would be consensus operating EPS estimates. So to bring the current 12-month period in line with these numbers, you've got to convert the net to operating, which is a really long process, and I'm going to actually just do it as these get updated, right? Because then it's not so much of an overwhelming load. But actually, I'm kind of a workaholic, so as you can see, I'm doing different little parts of it. I skip from section to section because I think of something new or a way to get these operating earnings, and I found, I just have to get the operating earnings, which I can find. I know how to read a corporate report, find the operating earnings, or calculate them more often myself, and divide by the number of shares. And that's how I get this stuff. It's not all operating. Some of these are net. It's under construction. But you can have a gander at what's here and get some good information. I mean, the green are the most undervalued stocks. But, forgot to put one here. But, no profits. Boeing, minus 749. Minus 22 for Intel. I want to short Intel so bad because they cut the dividend and they're not making any money. If you're going to short something like that. And 3M. No, who is that? It's not. Is that 3M? I guess it's 3M. Surprisingly. Interesting. Okay, anyway, how's the trade going? Pretty good? What do you think? Should I sell? Got an uptrend here, so basically we'll hold until that breaks. That's a real steep one, too. We're only on the second movement. So, I can't. God, good thing I can't get down to 1 second on these things. I'd be just. All right, I'm gonna move this down for a minute. Oh, I can't. I was gonna move this off the screen and check my account. They update it themselves. $13 up. My Roblox, all that red for my Roblox, did you see? On the account balance change. I'm going to have to make another deposit. I haven't had to make a deposit. Last deposit was like $50 3 months ago. So I'm holding my own at least. Getting better. All right, so bingo, new high. Look at that. I'm so happy. So what's the 5-minute chart? Blew right through that. So on the 5-minute, we have a new pivot. Right there. So this is getting pretty, I want to sell. 16.25% in less than an hour. See, this is the way I need to be thinking all the time. Not just, oh, that looks like it might go up. Let's buy a call. When I've talked about knowing better on the channel, and every time I take a hit, we're going to always see the same thing. You didn't do your technical analysis. Come on, push that sucker up. I've about almost reached my tolerance for rallies, to tell you the truth. Getting really close. Anyway, I'm running out of time, so we're watching now. I don't know what we're watching for at the moment, but if we go to a 1-minute chart, we're watching for this trend to break, or for the 1, 2, 3. That's what we're watching for, or a break of this trend. Well, that's not a trend, remember. That's just drawn off. We're just waiting for it to become a trend.